Welcome to I'm Right, I'm Right. Here we are. We didn't see you last week, but we're here this week. Sorry about that. Jill was a little under the weather. But we're here now, and we're looking forward to seeing you all. Now, if you are watching this in replay, feel free to fast forward past this spot and get right into the show. But if you're here live, welcome. I'm happy you're here. Also, you can watch this show on Facebook and YouTube, and you can also watch it through Jill's website, jillcoxcordova.com, and click the podcast tab, and you can watch the show there also. So, those are some of the things you can do. Now, also, you can make your comments and questions right there through Facebook and YouTube. And tonight we're going to have Stephan Garrison here, and he is a podcaster. Stephan, can you hear us?
I can.
Great. That's what we needed to know. All right. We've got about another 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and the show will begin then. So please stand by. Now, everyone, we have about 2 minutes and 49 seconds. And if you want to be in this show, part of the show, and you want the audience to hear you and see you, or you just want the audience to hear you, and you have a question or a comment, there's a link right there on Facebook and on YouTube. And all you have to do is click that link and then follow the prompts, and it will bring you right into the show. So you, too, can be a star. So we got a few more minutes. You think about that, because, when you're here at the show, the audience, and when you participate, it makes the show better. I wish I could say that Jill and I are so great that you just love just hearing us all the time, and that's it. But no, it's a better show when you are here and you're making comments and questions and talking and laughing, and it's like we're all here together. So we've got about another minute and 35 seconds, so please stand by. And remember, if there's any topics you want us to talk about, or, a future episode, put it there in the comments and we'll make track of it. Hey, the best time to ask us about it is when we're in a show. So think about that, because we would love some new, fresh ideas. Jill and I have been coming up with ideas for these shows for many years. So we would like to hear something from someone else. We've got about 30 seconds, and we'll be right here live with Stephan Garrison. He is a podcaster, and he has a political show. It's amazing. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about tonight. Oh, let's see what we're going to talk about tonight. All right, see you in a few.
everyone. We are back. I'm sorry we weren't
back.
here last week. I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
And I'm Anthony Cordova.
And this is I'm Right.
I'm right.
I'm sorry we were not here last week.
We weren't. Jill
Because I was way under the weather. I didn't think you wanted to watch me blow my nose the whole show. So I spared you.
And you hear that laughter in the background? That is Stephan.
Yes, we will introduce him in a moment. We have a special guest.
And everyone, you will see. We see him, but you'll see him in just a moment.
Yes. I want to go ahead and shout out to John. John has told us that he's here. Thank you for joining us, John.
Hey, John, what's going on?
What's up? And thank you, everybody else, for being here tonight, too.
Yes. All right.
Well, we do have a topic.
We do. What's our topic tonight?
Our topic tonight is dating in 2025.
Dating in 2020. Are we going to do any dating?
We still date.
I mean, with other people.
No. What's wrong with you?
Just to see, what that dating thing is like.
I better be your date. It's part of a segment that we call
Stand by your stand.
Oh,
cut that off quickly.
We did. Thank you, John. John says, sorry that I was under the weather. And Connie and Ronaldo are here. Hello,
welcome.
Cordovas, for being here. Yes, in spite of Tony suddenly wanting to date other people,
I don't want to date other people.
I thought we would talk about dating trends in 2025. So, according to Essence Magazine, there are actually 7 dating trends in 2025, but I'm only going to bring 3 of them up.
Okay.
So the first one I want to bring up is they said that emotional intelligence is the new sexy. Huh. So instead of partners choosing so in 2025, people are not only choosing partners who can communicate and will communicate their emotions, but also regulate their emotions.
Regulate.
Yes.
What does that
mean? Like keep even kill,
Okay. So no ups and downs.
No, not many. I mean, life has ups and downs to it. It's all about how we respond to them, though, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
another one is experiencing life in classes. So many people go to for a date. They'll go to cooking class together. We would never do that. Well, you might go to a cooking class, but anybody who knows me knows that I am a microwave cook. If I can put it in the microwave or a crock pot, we're good.
Yeah, but
occasionally I like to bake too.
As you know, I didn't marry you for your cooking.
I asked you on our second date, like, do you care that I cook? And you said no, so we got to have a third date.
You had other things to offer.
Yes, I do. I still do. Thank you very much. And then another thing is people in 2025, apparently they're setting more boundaries. So when they start seeing all those red flags, they're more willing to just walk away.
That is good. That is advice I have been giving for years.
Yeah?
Run.
Run.
You see something's not right? Hey, something ain't right with that person. Run the hell on out of there. Get going.
Yes. Because some people, they're like, oh, they were having a bad day that day or whatever.
Yeah.
But, if they keep doing that, that's who they are, right?
Gotcha.
That's right. All right. So let's bring our special guest on this topic.
Bring them on.
Our special guest is Stephan Garrison.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, we're so glad that you're here, Stephan. Those of you who have been watching our show for a while know that we and Stephan connected on this other platform.
Some other app thing.
This other
something
platform. But we clicked really well. The three of us did, and that's because Stefan is just a great human being. Like I love Stefan, and he knows this. And he has a podcast that's political oriented, but he makes it funny. Because he's hilarious too. And so we'll let Stefan tell everybody what your show is.
Right now it's non-existent. Being a one-man show is a lot of work.
It is. And also, as part of your introduction, you are going to Arizona State University and you're majoring in. He is an award-winning student, by the way, everyone. An award-winning scholar is with us. And you're studying political science. So I know that takes up a lot of your time, too, especially since you still work.
It really does.
Yep. So when do you have time to date?
Good question, Jill.
Ooh.
Cool.
I managed to fit it in. I mean, it's brutal because look, if you ain't got money, don't be dating. That's number one.
Well, I'm happy you said that.
Because some of these people's standards are really high. Like they want you to take them to these fancy restaurants. I'm like, look, you're going to get Olive Garden or nothing. Like, choose wisely. I can afford Olive Garden, but if you're like, oh well, I want to go to Ruth Chris, this is not for us. I'm not for you.
I'm not the one.
So you're seeing a trend where people are wanting to go to fancy places, like on the first date.
Yeah, fancy places, but I think for me, a lot of people get eliminated because you should know your love languages like before you enter the dating world. And one of mine that I put on all my dating profiles is if you cannot keep a conversation, keep moving. Because it's hard. Like it's hard for me to have a conversation with you, and I'm like struggling or grasping onto words to turn into a conversation. You're just like, "Yep, oh yeah, that was fun. How was work? It was okay. That's it. Like." Nothing out like so communication, like if you can't communicate, we're just not compatible. Like that is the first stage.
Now I just need to ask this question. So if you're doing this online, you're dating online first before you meet in person?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're not about to waste my time.
Okay, so if you're dating
video
online,
games I could be playing.
I got you. But if you're dating online, don't you through your conversations find things in common so that when you meet in person, it's not messed up?
Well, if we can't communicate online, why am I meeting you in person?
Okay, so they don't even get to that.
Is like they don't even get to in person because they can't make it offline.
Okay.
So it's like I'm not going to sit here and waste both of our times to meet up in person if our conversation already in text messaging is, terrible.
Right. So do you in dating, do you look for someone that is like-minded, or do you look for someone that's like opposites attract?
It depends on how opposite they are. Especially when it comes to like my area is politics. So there's not very much room I'm going to allow someone to be opposite because it's like, well, now we have different views and like, yeah, it's
like I keep saying, there can be right and wrong, but there can also just be wrong.
Yeah, there's just where it's like,
right?
Why did you, I saw something on TikTok where the girl had asked the guy, she was like, "Who did you vote for?" And he said, and she was like, "Nope, sorry, not it." I was like,
why even waste your time, right? Yep, I get that.
For? Oh, nope, sorry, eliminated already.
And that's a shame that nowadays that's kind of the way it is.
It is the way it is.
No, we can't date. We can't have anything in common.
Values.
Yes, it does. It does. Wow. So do you date with intention?
What do you mean by intention?
Oh.
For example, when Tony started dating me, he you didn't tell me this, but
no, don't tell anyone.
He didn't tell me his intention, but he dated with marriage in mind. So if he saw things along the way that, oh, I can't marry you for that, that was it, right? So he dated with marriage in mind. He dated with intention.
Now, mind you, I wasn't like desperate to get married,
Mm.
but my viewpoint is this person marriage type material? Is this, so, and then I would decide whether, maybe they're just great to hang out with and have a good time, but maybe there's something about this other person that I might be like, nah, we could never be married, but we could, have a good time together and stuff like that. But I never told anybody that was my viewpoint, because it changes the dynamic of how that relationship works.
I think in 2025, you have to tell your intentions, primarily on the first date, because if I'm looking to get married, but you're looking just for like what with the friends with benefits, this may not work.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you don't want
that is
to.
true.
Essentially, you don't want to waste time. So, like, if I want to get married, but you are not, you're like, I'm kind of like on the fence about marriage, and we date for 2 to 3 years, right? And then 3 years, I'm like, hey, let's get married. And you're like,
Nope. No,
I don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? 3 years? No. I'm pushing you
I
down
was
the
walking
stairs at
that
this point.
fence.
I was wondering what you've been doing. I was like, I don't know what's happening
was
right
on
now.
I was doing a balancing act.
So you have to tell, I think on the first date, what are your intentions? Now if you just want to strictly date, or someone like me, like I like marriage is fine, like if you want to have a legal piece of paper, that's fine, or you don't. Like, I mean, there's pros and cons to marriage. You've done it on your show, so it's like, all right, I'm okay with either one, but we need to establish like what yours is.
Okay.
Yep. So did you hear when we were talking about the trends of like emotional intelligence, taking classes together as dates, and setting boundaries? Do any of those things that you follow when you date?
I have never done a cooking class before. I think that one's pretty cool. Because if you can't cook, whew, we're
Can you cook?
I can. I love cooking. I think cooking is very peaceful for me. Like I love cooking, especially like Thanksgiving is my holiday where I will just cook and cook and cook. But if you can't cook, um, we'll find something.
That's a real problem. That's a real problem.
Maybe you can do like instant mashed potatoes. Or
Well, I was
something.
gonna say there's different. If you see, for
like,
me, I can cook. When I do cook, people say it's good. I just don't like to cook.
I'm surprised Stephan is still talking to you.
What do you mean?
We were just talking about you can't cook, and I didn't marry you for your
can't cook. I said I don't like to cook. I didn't say I couldn't cook.
Okay.
Are you telling me I can't cook?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Nope.
And if Stephan ever came to visit us, you would do the cooking. So he doesn't.
No, maybe Stephan would do the
has
cooking.
No
loves
reason to get
cook.
mad at me.
This looks microwavable.
Yeah. We should go to Stephan's for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, that would be
Yeah,
fun.
fly on out here to the desert in the middle of nowhere.
That would be fun.
Hot.
Oh, it's hot already, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it's hot.
Well, what's the worst thing you think about dating in 2025?
spending money when it's not gonna work out.
Mm.
Like I become broke because you go on all these dates and just like, bro, my bank account is on nothing now, and I've got nowhere. Not even a kiss on the cheek at this point. Like,
Aw. And do you always, when you go out on a date, do you always pay?
I do. That's why I've started being and don't hate me. I've started being cheap now. So now we do a what I call is a pre-date, right? And that's
Oh,
where you
here
go
we
get some
go.
coffee.
There you go.
Now
you know you know what
There
he
you
calls that. He
go.
calls that a meeting date.
That is a meeting date.
That is what I started going on is called a
Yes.
pre-date
See?
because you know what? I rather spend maybe $12 on a cup of coffee between the two of
Yeah.
us. than sit here and
$12 on a
spend-
cup of
Oh, if you
coffee.
buy some coffee
yeah,
for
if you
them,
buy like
you
coffee for
Oh,
them,
okay,
coffee for
okay.
me, maybe a bagel if you're trying to be nice or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But you do that before you go out on a real first date and spend like $50, $70
That's right.
for you to
That
just walk
is
away and be like,
exactly right.
for you just to walk away and be like, I never want to see that person again in my life.
I am 100%
Like,
with you.
so it's like I would rather go on a pre-date, and like I said, there's you have to create stages. Like if they're not meeting your love language via text message, why am I going to transition into in person? Unless like they do have a different method of communication. Like some people don't like the text, right? Some people like to talk on the phone, which is fine, or they want to FaceTime, which is fine, but you have to have some type of communication there. Otherwise, if they're like, well, I'm only good at communication in person. Well,
nope.
we're not going to be in person all the time. So
Right.
pick your poison. Do you want text message, phone call, FaceTime, Skype? I don't know. Like, pick some, like we could do team meetings. Like I don't know. But like, so it's like you set that up. Understand like what your love language is. Like I said, mine is communication. That's a huge one for me, and I put it on my profiles now because I'm like I'm tired. Like we're in 2025. Plus I'm 30. Like you guys know I'm old.
Oh,
Like,
yes,
that
you
is
are
not
so
old.
old.
Oh, that is so old.
I'm
Oh
so close
my.
to the nursing home that it's like I don't have time to be wasted out here on these
Can't be
streets.
wasted. That's right. Your walker's probably right
Like-
behind you.
Like
So
I'm get my kid pretty soon.
do you find your dates on from online dating apps? Is that where
Yeah,
we find
yeah,
dates
dating
these
apps.
days?
So, like
Okay.
Facebook and all the other dating apps out there.
Is catfishing less of a thing now?
I'm very cautious when I match with someone. Like I try and do like what Black women do. Like I try and do a whole FBI, Facebook search, Instagram.
That is very true.
TikTok, like,
yes.
I want
we
your
will
phone
do
number so I
background
can
checks
see.
for
Yeah.
sure.
like I'm going on like, oh, let me type in your phone number, see what it comes back to. Like I'm going full like FBI mode. Because it's like you never know. That's why
So-
I'm like go to coffee or go to these public places so you can see who the person is. And then if you want to run and scream for help, you can.
that's right. So what do you do when you're meeting a person online and they're like not quite hitting it for you, but they're hot. They really, really look good. They're like hot. Like, so do you make an exception? You're like, they're not very talkative, but they're hot. But
Depends on the
they look
intention, I would
good.
believe.
So, do you make an exception and like, well, yeah, I'll meet up for some coffee for that. Yeah.
Oh man, now you're putting me out on a spot.
I was going to
is one of
say,
those questions that we
notice
should
that
have
I
asked.
did not ask that question.
Yes, you do make exceptions. You're like, oh man, whew,
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
You never know.
your communication sucks. But I mean, I can
Yeah.
make exceptions. Like, who needs to talk every day? We can talk twice every month. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah. See how that works.
Okay. Well, should we go on to our next segment?
We have another segment.
We have two segments.
Oh my!
All right. And this one we call
I'm trying to help you.
I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
why does Tony in those pictures feel like he doesn't want to be in that picture?
What are you talking about?
Like Jill is
That
like
was actually-
smiling, and then
What are you
Julie's, like,
talking
that
about?
picture-
Wait,
that
let's bring
picture-
that back up. Let's bring
that
that back
picture.
up and
Well,
take
you're going
a
to
look.
play it again?
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
see it. Yeah.
All right.
I
I'm
can
That
try.
trying
picture-
to help you.
That
Oh,
picture,
the sun
is-
the sun was in my eyes.
and it was actually his photo shoot, and I crashed it.
Well, Jill
So
looks
I wasn't
happy
even
with
supposed to
something
be
like,
in
oh
a
my God.
picture. I crashed his photo shoot.
Stefan would comment on that, right?
Stefan
'cause it's the
notices
second photo,
everything,
and
which
I'm
is
just like,
good.
why does he look like he's like, oh my God, this lady interrupted me again. Jesus.
That's the look he has. It's like, why is she in my shot? That's what he's thinking. Why is she here in my shot?
That is not true. Not true. Not true.
Well, the segment that we're in right now, guys, is where we offer some advice for people, in this case, who are dating in 2025. Stefan, do you want to go first or you want to go last?
Are we giving people advice?
We are.
Yes.
Oh, okay. My advice would be to know your love languages up front. So then that way, as you're dating, you can see if this person meets them. And go on pre-dates so you're not wasting money or wasting a bunch of time when there's no interest.
That's really good advice.
It's very good advice.
That's
It's
excellent
hard to,
advice.
That's hard to follow. You have advice?
Well, we touched on it earlier, which is if you start dating someone and you're regularly dating, maybe you go out every weekend or whatever with this person, but if you see something that's like a deal breaker, maybe you see that person treats the wait staff just awful, or it's something you really don't like, what they do, or they put down other people all the time and you're not comfortable with it. Don't put up with it. Boom. Wipe your hands of them and you go on your way, because you have to think, if you're looking for that lasting relationship, the thing you don't like about the person is going to be amplified as time goes on. So if you see it in the beginning, don't waste
They will
your
get
time.
on your last nerve, for
Yes,
sure.
they'll move on, run. Yeah. What do you have, Jill?
Well, I have two bits of advice. One, be like Stefan. Stefan is fun. And I'm sure, Stefan, that I think you can't help but add humor into your conversations and your communication. And so I always think that puts people at ease, is when you can laugh with each other. So be like Stefan is my first bit of advice. And then my second bit of advice goes along with what you just said, which is be observant. If you start to see those red flags, just like you said, run.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Yeah, don't say, but they
Like,
look good.
don't second guess it. Don't second guess it. But on the other hand, you should also be open. Like maybe there's something about them you didn't know that you liked.
Yeah.
About people.
Yeah, like maybe you
Like,
don't.
I didn't know that I liked someone who would tell me no all the time. I didn't know that. I was like, who
you
is
like
this person
someone that
talking back to
says-
me? What word is that? So I was open to it, though. I was open to figuring out, like, do I like that? Turns
Yeah.
out, I guess I do.
I remember that. I don't remember what she was told me to do, but I was like,
Yeah, you were like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I was like,
I'm not doing
huh?
that.
What word is that?
No.
So I didn't know that I needed that. I didn't know I needed like someone that could talk back and back it up, though, at the same time. Like, you weren't just talking back for the sake of it.
And I wasn't rude or anything.
Yeah, you
I
weren't
wasn't,
rude.
But
Yeah.
just kind of matter of
So
fact.
who knew that I would like that? I didn't know that I would like that.
Now you know.
Now I do.
Now you know. Yes, you do.
Yep. So anything else you want to add, Stefan, before we wrap this show up?
I had one, but I completely forgot it. Tony said something. I was like, man, that was good. I forgot. Hopefully it comes back.
It'll come back.
Okay.
Well, you're always welcome back. So if you remember, come back next Wednesday. Oh,
Yeah.
I remember what it was.
I also like, Stephan, that you said at the beginning of this show that you make time for dating. I like that because a lot of people, they don't make time, and yet they want to date people, but I guess they feel like maybe one day they'll show up at their house or something. I don't know, because they don't go anywhere.
Time is one of those. I dated, and I'm so glad you said it, Jill. Understand different definitions of what dating is, because dating is different to every single person.
Oh,
so
that's
make
good
sure
advice.
you know what the term dating is. And when you guys said, I was like, oh, there it is. It's like, 'cause some people think dating is, I can still date A, B, and C.
Yeah.
And some people like me are like, no, you're only dating me. You're not dating anybody else until this fizzles out or I push you down the stairs. One of the two, like, we're dating. So yes, just make sure you understand what definition of dating is.
Excellent. We have a comment from John, who's watching us, and he says, "My little red flag, Mother Nature will say to me, 'See that?'" Ever so often, I give you little signs that say, "Don't touch." That's hilarious, John.
My goodness. Good one.
That's a good red flag, John.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. Make you notice.
Wow.
All right.
This has been a good show.
It has. It's gone by really fast.
Yes.
That's when I know
Yeah,
it's a good show. It's when it goes by quickly.
Yeah, and we got some real wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah, because and that thing about, be clear about what the date is, because I remember when I was single in between marriages, I was like, I'm dating. And if I said I'm dating, that means I'm dating. I'm dating like everybody. I'm dating. I'm looking around.
John added on
That's right.
that he's definitely seen signs. And I knew that someone would say this. Stephan is funny. Yes, he is.
Funny. Man, we love him.
Yes, he is. All right. Well, Stephan, thank you for being here. We love you.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you so
Thank you.
much. Always fun.
Always fun.
We used to
Always
have
a good time.
We used to have a lot of fun on that other platform.
Yeah, we used to have so much. Like, the show would go for a full hour.
Yeah, we'd be an hour.
Like, wrap up the show. I'm ready to go to sleep. Tony. And he's like, I'm coming.
Yeah, I do miss that.
Yep.
But, okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks again, Stephan. We'll be in touch. Well, I'll be in touch after the show, as you know, and we'll be in touch for other things too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
So,
Yay!
We'll see you. Start pressing some buttons, Jill.
I will start pressing some buttons.
See what we got here.
All right. First up.
Oh, push some buttons. Let's go. Hey, there we go. Yes, remember to check out I'm Right every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can watch that show on Facebook and YouTube, and you can also watch it through Jill's website, JillCoxCordova.com, and click the podcast tab. Hey, next week, you see this guy? His name is Jay Hendrickson, and it seems that him and I look alike. Okay,
So much
He
so
is like my
that you have fooled
doppelganger.
his own mother.
And he's also a content creator, and he has some really nice reels that'll get you laughing. So check out the show next week on Wednesday, April 2nd. There we go. What else we have, Jill? After show, anyone, we need your input. Look, we really do would love your input. If there's some types of shows you want us to do, just let us know. Just let us know, and there's a good chance we'll do them. So check that. Do that. Let us know. All right.
Your last chance to say goodbye.
Hey, we love you all. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Come next week. We love it when you're here. And remember, participate in the show. We love the comments.
We do.
That you make. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. And we have another comment there, Joe. Did you see that?
John says, I love that Valley Girl look until you're open. It is very much like that, John. All right. Bye, everybody. We love you.